Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 20th Century Food Court, which is part of Last Call BBS. We're nearing the end of 20th Century Food Court here. Next up is Chaz Cheddar, which we didn't even read the description for last time. More than simply a food ingestion site, these gathering places featured chanting automatons costumed to resemble the animals being consumed there, as a grim reminder that life, especially in the 20th century, was nasty, brutish, and short. I see. It is indeed Chuck E. Cheese, so we're making a pizza, I guess? Or a rat? Because they say resembling the animals being consumed there? I don't know. We'll see. Okay, it's a pizza. Maybe it's a rat pizza. Meat left, meat right. Vegetables left and vegetables right. Huh. We have a tray and dough. We have to flatten it twice. Then definitely put sauce on it. Oh, and then, okay, so we have a dispenser for stuff that only goes to one side. And when we're done putting stuff on that side, we have to flip the pizza over and do that. Okay. Or maybe we could sauce it up twice. Do I have any special machines? I have a flattener and a pizza rotator. And an animatronic just for fun. Oh, wow, look at that. Oh, dance, rat, dance. Oh my gosh, you can have bass or lead. Oh wow, you can have like a solo with these guys. What a fun little side game that I'm probably not going to engage in at all because I'm not good enough at this game to have spare space. Oh, okay, cool. But I do want to at least. All right. Show me how it works. So if I just what's something I could have like constantly emit outputs? Put a scanner here. So if I say, you know, at all times, please dance and sing. And by the way, your song is... Wait, I, V, V, and I? What? Okay, so he's... What does the glasses input do? His sunglasses pop up, maybe? Okay. Sure. And he plays the same note over and over again, right? I see. Now, could you... What would happen if you told him to play two different notes? Does he play them both? I can't tell the difference. It sounds just like I to have both of them in. Okay. And if we put someone else on bass guitar? Who was just always playing this note? Oh, I see. And sing is just having him open his mouth. It's not changing the sound at all. You can't even hear the other guy over this bass. It's so loud. Okay, well, get out of here, you idiots. I don't want that. Okay, could be fun to play with if you were into music and stuff like that, but I don't know anything about music, so... Alright, so, wow, we have a lot of things. Looks like sauce, cheese, meat, and veg? No. Because nobody ever asked for cheese. There's sauce. I don't know, maybe this is cheese. what it looks like to me. So if I just said, like... Oh, it's labeled. Yes, cheese. Okay. So... I have to send everything through this line exactly twice, huh? It seems simple enough, I think, to have a sorter at the end wired up to a counter, which starts at 0. And when it's at 0, it pushes something back to go up through the top again and increases itself, let's say. And then when it's positive, it pushes things towards the exit instead. And when we're going into this the first time, we have one sequencer that's based on the left side orders. These guys each have multimixers for their inputs, which are fed by sequencers and controlled by a scan, I guess? I don't really want to have 4 scanners, though. I guess I can have 4 small counters to save all the variables from this to be either 1 or 0. That seems fine, so let's do that first. I thought there was some copy button. Oh, there we go. In fact, I bet I could say +1 and copy that. So this is meat left, meat right, veggie left, veggie right. And we need a mixer like this. So we always dispense cheese and sauce on both halves. Not totally sure how much space I need to make for myself here, or even how to lay these things out. Oh, this only goes vertical. Interesting. Okay. So this is obviously wrong, because we aren't flattening, and we don't have a spot to re-enter. But I could, for example, do this. Just slam in 2 flatteners. And then I need a sorter here, which goes this way, and also this way to be stacked, I suppose. And we need a spinner along this line somewhere. Am I supposed to spin it back on the way out, or do they care? I guess, like, if you put something on the right side of the pizza and then rotate it 180 degrees, you've put stuff on the left side of the pizza, right? So this person asked for meat on the right. Let's actually ask for, like... What is this very simple pizza? Oops. This is just like a nothing pizza. So we're gonna need a bunch of things for start to do, I think. Maybe not that much, actually. But one thing it certainly needs to do is go to a sequencer, right? So we can control these things. Yeah, so let's... Okay, we need a multiplexer for start. So start both dispenses dough and also kicks this off. Each of these... Oh, right, I can do this. Has a control wire going to it. Which sadly is going to have a multiplexer feeding into it as well. But anyway, this is the sauce controller, the cheese controller. Oh, actually, these can be simpler mixers. Because they're just always going to be on, right? No one ever asks for no cheese on the left half, apparently. So after some amount of time, let's see. So this would be after 1, 2, 3, 4. After 5, we dispense the sauce. And then the cheese, and then maybe the meat, and then maybe the veggies, right? Did not work at all. Because I didn't wire these up, of course. Yep, that looks good. And then we don't dispense any of the other stuff, and we don't do any of this because I didn't finish building it yet, but that's the idea. That's the right timing for this stuff. Oh, really? These only have outputs on their 0 side, huh? So I could either use big counters for these, which feels a little sad, so that I could harness the power of positivity. Or I could have a multiplexer for each of them that feeds back into them and adds a -1 at the same time. So we get a 0 if they did order it and a -1 if they didn't. Those both cost the same amount of wiring space, right? We either need a small and a mixer or a large, but the large counter costs more. And the mixer might be useful for something else somehow, maybe, although I don't think so. Well, I mean, we already have a mixer for start, right? And we're kind of asking for 4 more copies of start. So I don't need more mixers for each of them. I just need 1 more mixer, which is fed by start and then goes to the -1 on each of these. So these should all be +1 now, or -1, whatever. But if someone asks for meat on the right, then that one, the meat indicator, is 0. Fantastic. And so it can be the enabler for this on the first pass. Or... It's still a little tricky to figure out how to do this. Okay, anyway, I don't seem to be using this for anything. So, at some point we're going to have another sequencer for when we do the second half. That's fine. And for feeding the sauce and the cheese, it's all very simple. But the question is, what exactly is the enable input for these? Do I need 2 different... I think I do. I think I need 2 things that are like this. One to say, yes, you should dispense cheese on this meat on this half, on the left half, and one to say you should dispense it on the right half. And then have each of those feed into a mixer, a normal mixer that actually controls dispensing the meat, sadly. So, while this looks very pretty, it isn't quite right. So let's get these moved out of the way for now. Although, don't reorder them, please. Give me a couple more normal mixers. And so this should still work. Oh, it's a different tray. I love it. Did we actually put meat on? We didn't, right? Why not? Oh, because I didn't wire this 0 up to the control input. So if they asked for meat, that should be on. And if they asked for... This is meat R, meat right. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, we're doing the right side first because we're putting it on the left and we're spinning it. So the veggie R control should go here. And so if this actually flipped it and sent it back, we'd be looking good. Okay, it's sort of hard to... Isn't there one where... Okay, here's the one where they ask for just veggie on the right. For some reason I skipped that before. Because meat's more exciting. Okay, so they get that. Looks cool. Great. So the distance from here to here, how does that compare to this? It's 3 higher, right? I have 3 room in the sequencer, so that's fine. Okay. So let's... Well, first of all, for the first time in a long time, we can just wire stack to eject. There's only 2 things. And when we stack the pizza on the tray, we're good to go. So the sorter is also, I think, pretty simple. It needs a counter. When its counter is 0, it constantly sends left. When it senses, I think it's going to need a mixer. One thing it's going to do is increase this so that it no longer sends left. Ah, I need a different one. I need a large counter so that it can have a 0 and a negative signal. Right? Boo. Okay, so we don't quite have room up there. So when it's 0, we go left. When we sense, we go +1. And when it's positive, we go right. But additionally, when we go left, we kick off a new sequencer. Or when we sense, I should say. This sequencer needs controls like these two things again. And it needs to be fed basically like this, but with a gap that's but lower by 3. So that's here? No, that's lower by 4. Like that. And its A is wired up to the sauce machine, just like the other. Its B is wired up to the cheese machine. Its C is wired up, I believe, to the... No. That would always dispense veggies. It's supposed to be wired up to this. So something like that is what I have in mind. Does this work? So I think this might be complete, but let's try it on a simple example first. There's a lot of room for mistakes, right? Pizza gets flipped around. Looks like a pretty sick pizza to me. Now let's just hit play and see if anything's broken. But start on the simplest pizza possible. I don't know. I know if I were doing this, I would go fast. But let's try a more complicated pizza that wants like that. If this works, probably everything works. And if it doesn't, we'll find out why. Looks great. All right, go fast, please. It's a masterpiece. And I have plenty of space, by the way, to put in animatronics, but not enough to really power them. Like, I don't have any wiring space. I have floor space. This is a food that is laid out flat like a disc. Arc-shaped slices of the disc are made and are subsequently allocated to people present at the table. Well, thank you. Yeah, that is how it works. I read about this in Dickens, or maybe it was Tolstoy. Either way, a good traditional food for the peasantry. It's the late 20th century. You are using your personal computer to make something called a video game. You reach for a slice of pizza. Aw, yeah. Thanks. So that's cool. And I mean, like... Oh, hang on. We should... No. We should copy this. And I can squeeze in one animatronic, right? Basically, that's all I can fit with this dope setup. And basically, any multi-mixer that has spare outputs, I'm just gonna, like, wire them up to whatever. So, what does this multi-mixer do? I don't know. When is it fed? When the sorter senses something. So maybe at this point, we'll, You know, I can't afford one mixer to control whether it sings. Okay. Whatever. It's gross, but I'll put it over here. Oh, I can wire this up to singing and dancing? And then I can have several things send their results here. It's not going to make a very pretty song, I can't imagine. There you go, just some random stuff. Have this one go control the classes. This one controls music. This one also controls that music. That goes there. And this one goes here. Let's see what we've made. I can barely hear him over the game music. He loves the sauce and the cheese, apparently. Oh, what if Yeah, I don't know. Okay, he's just a horrid mouse monster. So this is a slightly more expensive solution, but it has more personality. Okay, cool. Good to know. Alright, let's read about our email. Greetings, operator. This is a notice that Café Triste, our Parisian cafe, is closing temporarily due to a controversy about its historical accuracy that recently erupted in anthropological discussion forums. To summarize briefly, due to newly discovered evidence, some researchers now believe that cigarettes were not consumed as food, but actually lit on fire, creating smoke that was then fanned around the room. Though we think this alternative theory is unlikely to be true, we don't wish for anyone visiting the 20th century experience to encounter any content that is not completely accurate and authentic. Therefore, we are putting the attraction on hold out of an abundance of caution. Due to visitor demand, cigarettes will remain available in the gift center. Sure. Yes, we remarked on that inaccuracy ourselves as 20th century historical experts. I don't think I'm going to start the half-cap coffee today. You know, we did finish this puzzle very quickly for 20th century food court standards, but I don't expect I'll replicate that feat. So let's just move on and do some dungeons and diagrams. Okay, there's nothing that immediately can be filled in with walls or blanks, I think. Not an entire column, anyway, or row. There's only one more open space in this whole thing. Like, it can't really be here, right? Or here. Could it be here? No? Couldn't be here or here. So it's one of these two. Which means this is a wall. Okay. There's only one more open space along this as well. Oh, actually this row I think is kind of instructive in the same way this column was, right? There's only one more open space. Can't really be anything that isn't touching a monster because it's guaranteed to be a dead end, so we have this. There's only one more open space here. can't be this, or this. Could it be this? If someone came in through here. No, because this 6 column can only have 2 open spaces, and it would have to be like that. And then there wouldn't really be anywhere to go. So this can't actually be it. Could this be the only open space? No, because we know one of these is open, so that's a wall. Only one of these is a wall, huh? That's interesting. Can't be that. Seems like it could be these, right? This couldn't be the wall, because then that would be a dead end. So we in fact finish off this row, the 6th row. Now that's filled in, and we get this as well. There's only one. No, that's totally a lie. There's 2 more walls in this column. I think there's only one more open, as if this 3 said how many are not walls, but that's not how this game works. There's only one more open in this column, I guess. Ah, we've got this row done. So now only one of these is open. No, only one of them is a wall. The rest are open. Well, wait a minute. This can't be a wall, because that would be a dead end. So this is open. And the whole rest of this area is walls. That's pretty cool. This column's done. This row is done. That's that column. It's another easy one. I feel like an idiot. Like, how could I have had so much trouble with these before? They're all as easy as the last few I've been doing. This can't be open because there would be problems. Yeah, alright. The glacial nest, no problem. Let's move on. Maybe I can finish this row today. Fort Impenetrable. A promising start. This has to be the exit from the treasure room, right? And therefore this has to be part of the treasure room. And so does this. So could this all be treasure room? No, there wouldn't be enough walls in the column. So it's walls, and that's the treasure room. There's one more open space along this column. Seems like it could be here. Maybe. That's open, that's open. There's only one non-wall in this whole column. So that's the crossover point from this area to this area. So this whole area here, well, okay, in these 2 columns, we have 7 walls, which means 9 open spaces, which all have to be explored without crossing over into this area, except for once. So we could kind of say, okay, we'll lay out some path along here that covers all 9 of the open spaces we're supposed to visit. And then when it's done, we'll like connect through here somehow. So we have to, without paying any attention to what this is, create a path that explores all 9 of these. And it has to not create any 2x2s, which is sort of hard to do, isn't it? Like, the only thing I can imagine is a path that goes, you know, down like this for some distance, and then juts out for 1, and then goes back, right? It can't even go this far, because then, well, sure it could. This could be our way out. No, there's not enough walls here now. In fact, it needs a gap of 2 while it's doing this, doesn't it? So might it have to go this way? Like, this seems like a possible solution. Is it the only one? I don't think so. I think you could take this whole shape and shift it down a bit. Like that. And it would be equally valid. But we do get, like, most of the open spaces here because it's only one of those 2 possibilities, right? So these 3 here are definitely open no matter what. Which could be interesting. And the open space that we escape through this column on has to be touching one of these 3. So all of these, in fact, are walls. And that's very instructive, because now we get the rest of this, and we can fill this out. Well, this can't be the last wall in the column, because that would be a problem here. So that's the last wall in the column, so we get this connecting up. I guess we could have already filled in this wall. I think. I'm not sure. There we go. Fort impenetrable, penetrated. The Artificer's Museum. What's the joke here? There are a lot of walls in this column. So one way you could imagine getting to these monsters would be to like put walls between them and like have this open up or something. But that doesn't work because of all the walls that have to be in this column. So I kind of feel like it's more like this is open and there's a path to visit these 2 somehow, right? Something like that. In fact, the fact that there's only 2 open spaces here each one of which can only grant you access to like a couple of these monsters, right? And there are 3? So, oh, and the same thing's going to apply over here, I see. So, like, suppose this were one of the open spaces. I think that's impossible. Because then we have to wall this off, and this guy has to come out, and there's no more open spaces to get to this guy. So in fact, we can say that that's a wall. And I think the same might hold true for this, but I'm not sure. Because then we could have this be the last open space, couldn't we? To get in there. Like that. We end up getting walled off here, though. It turns out that doesn't work, but it's not as obvious as I hoped it might be. So now we know that, and this, which seemed likely, are in fact true. Now, two of these are walls. This has to be one of them, or it's a dead end. This can't be open, so it's done. Okay. Now we finish this column. And this row. There's one wall in this row now. It's one of these two. I don't think I have an easy way to show which yet. Well, hang on. This can't be the open space, because then this would be a wall and this would be a problem. This can't be open because then this would be a problem. We get all that stuff. There's one more open space in this row. It can't be here because it would be a dead end. It can't be here because it would be a dead end. And we get this column. Oh, that's a very good column to get. That gives us the row. I dare say we're nearly done here. Yeah. Okay, we finished Dungeons Diagrams row there. I don't know if I want to start another. Is there anything else we can do in the, little while left before this video takes up an hour, which is kind of what I try to aim for these Zachtronics videos? I mean, we could play a solitaire or something? Don't really want to. I don't really want to revisit the Forbidden Path. That last level was too hard for me. Chip Wizard Professional, the remaining stuff is too hard also, I think. I don't remember if I made any progress on this. It looks like no. Yeah, the timing looks so confusing. Get out of here. How do I select a different puzzle? What if I wanted the serial number ROM? So output a fixed sequence, I guess? Oh, that's right, yeah. So we're outputting, what number is this anyway? If we imagine this is the low order bit, that's 2, 18, and 32 is 50. If we imagine this is the low order bit, and it's 1, 3, no 4s, no 8s, 19. So this is either 50 or 19, I guess, if you imagine it as a binary number. I don't remember like how you would do this. I mean, I guess in some sense what you want is a line, something that looks a bit like a line straight from data to read in pink silicon, right? No. Well? No, not exactly from data to read, because data won't stay high, will it? Or sorry, read won't stay high. Or will it? Here they have an example where they set read high for only 3 ticks. And we just send out HH and then shut up. Here they have it high for just 5 ticks and they send HH, LLH, and then we have to shut up. So actually, in fact, we should be using a read as our like power source, kind of, right? So it goes from read straight to data, except that we interrupt it for a bit, right? Like, we have some blue silicon lines running through this that turn it off. And then we have to like turn those off after some time. So it's a little bit weird, but like, let's say we did that. Well, okay, not quite, because there has to be a capacitor here. But if there's a capacitor, then where's your space to cut it off, right? Because I need to be able to cut off the blue one once we've had enough time go by. So I need... Oh, but blue can't be interrupted. Can it? Not really. So we need like pink that feeds this somehow. I mean, there has to be a blue going in there from somewhere. But we need another blue that can be triggered, like, this has to come from something pink. Like, we need something like this, where another blue, after some set of capacitors, can interrupt this again. Seems hard. But like if read, okay, after 2 capacitors, so I think we can just fit that in. This line should go high, trying to cut this off. And so if we step through this, oh, hang on, let me put the vias in. We'll see we send H, H, and then we go back to low forever. So that much works. But I need another thing which after maybe I don't. Maybe I can just leave this and then have another way for read to send a delayed signal for just 1 tick to data. Does that make sense? Like, okay, first of all, we kind of want this, so there's a little more space on this side, I think. And I could actually throw all this away if I'm going to do this in a separate... Of course, I don't have to have a single signal from read to data that gets like turned on for a while and then turned off and then turned back on or something crazy like that. I can just have, okay, this is 2 different conditions in which I send an H, like, and combine them with metal at the other side, I think. Yeah, because it wouldn't ever be sending a signal back, setting read high erroneously, because this blue will be cutting it off at that point. So, in fact, I can just make all of this much simpler. Like that, I think. And now, this is like blocked forever. Oh, plus read will be high anyway. If we sent back a high read, who would care? Nobody. That's who. And then we just need a separate thing down here that waits for some number of ticks and then waits slightly longer before cutting itself off. And connect that up to the same place here. So, okay. Might as well be sparing with silicon, right? So after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ticks, i.e. after 4 capacitors have gone by, we want to send a high. But we want that to be interruptible after a 5th capacitor has gone by, right? So I think we need something like this. Right? How wrong is it? It's a little wrong. Looks like I put too many capacitors in. No, it's way wrong here. Why? Wait, why is this lit up already? Oh! It is getting feedback from this side. I see. So we can't just combine them with metal. We need a proper OR gate? Oh no, those are so big. Okay, but let's, for the moment, remove this via and see if just the second half works right or if I need another capacitor or something. Oh, whoops. It's routed wrong. Should go like that, so it goes over a different number of capacitors. Oh, and then remain high. I was thinking remain low. Ugh. Is it possible that I could, like, put one more capacitor here? And then send that in? High, low. No, it went high. Oh, because this is coming in now, of course. Ugh. Alright, I hate this game. I'm out of here. This idea doesn't work. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.